second attempt at the stream. I couldn't find the first one, similar to last week. Um, so yeah, I've just given this a go again. I'll just make sure I can share the stream and then I'll do a proper introduction. Yes, it's working now. So we are going to be enjoying round 2 of season 1, 2024 Driversroom Acelith Design Endurance Championship. And just reading, I believe the lobby host gadget has just opened the first room. So we're going to join and see what drivers are taking part today and have a wee think about how the race went last week. Of course, last week we did expect Cartman to be one of the favourites, and he did win, but it definitely wasn't plain sailing for him last week. He had a very close race with Luco and G Rabbit. Yeah, I'll just mention again there that this week DRC Jason is going to be covering second tier as well. So we're actually covering both tiers this week. And yeah, all that important information. So yeah, Jason, and he'll be hosting that stream assisted by Blue Racer. So no one's going to be missing out this week. Everyone's going to get a time on this on the streams. It actually gives me something to watch after as well. Isn't the most fun idea trying to watch over one of my own streams for commentating, but I'll look forward to watching the tier 2 stream. First race last fortnight, I suppose we could say, was a very interesting race, battle between Mark and I forget who won the race ultimately, but yeah, it was a mixture of strategies in tier 2, so it'll be good to see what happens this week as well. Evening, Kim. Thanks for tuning in, saying hello. Kamari, of course, our regular commentator of seasons past, done it for many years now. And yeah, what can you say? He's kept us entertained and kept us interested in the series for a long time now. But yeah, I'll run through the drivers. Starting off in sort of numeric order. Number 8, we have Miller. This is, I believe, I'm not 100% on these stats, but I believe this is his 164th race. Very near one of our most seasoned drivers. Joining us back in Season 2 of 2021, and he's actually in a few seasons back, number of seasons back, he was very, very competitive, managed to pick up 2 wins, so yeah, that's Miller, and he'll be driving the Audi today, a car that a lot of people are likely to go for. Next driver on the list isn't out of the pitch yet, so yeah, we'll have a look. Quite a few drivers not left into practice. We're about 4 minutes in here, have another 10 minutes to go. With some drivers lacking to save their energy for qualifying. And yes, I will be aware to not move around too quickly and give everyone good coverage. Luco, of course, finishing third last week, did have a very promising speed in qualifying, and he'll be hoping for a good turn of speed in Trail Mountain today. Trail Mountain Reverse, not a circuit I much like myself. I like Trail Mountain the other way around, so I'm very comfortable with it that way. I've driven this layout before and I find it very difficult, so be eager to see how everyone gets on with it today. Nico joined us in season 4 of 21. I was away from the series then, so he did pick up 1 win in this time there, so another race winner. Lenz is fairly new. Last year, second to last season, joined us. This, I believe, is his 11th race, so maybe an odd race here or there. He'll be driving the Audi today, number 138. I was calling Lenz Paul last week just to clear up any confusion, but I have been talking to Cartman, and he's advised that Giorgio, I believe his name is, so they call him just Gio. So yeah, I might refer to Lenz as Gio as this race goes on. But yes, using the Audi today. Of course, Cartman, one of our championship leader at the minute, didn't manage to get all the points last week, but picking up P1, does the points, and working together with Lance, who were just speaking there. This is GTKR race team, and they're actually leading the championship at the minute in terms of the team championships on 152. And this would be the team second in the championship, G-Rabbit and Team Wishing Blue Yellow. They're 50 points behind 102. I'm not 100% sure. I believe his teammate would be in tier 2, so I'm not 100% sure. But I feel the ones to look out for today for GTKR will be Draggoth with Vox Bacchus and Luco racing today. So yeah, it will be interesting to see these two teams that are some very good drivers. See how their team championship works out as well as just the individual championship. So just jump on board with Cartman here for a practice lap. I think he's going for a fast one. There's a lot of undulation. That's the challenge in the first sector. Normally the last sector, but the first sector today. It's a fictional circuit, so developers can be a lot more adventurous with camber, corner camber, and typically like a high-speed runs an extreme example, but you can see that sort of expression the developers use with the fictional tracks and coming through this tunnel. I believe this straight is 1.3 kilometers. It's quite long as far as back straights go. So yeah, they'll be using a lot of fuel going down there, and this section can be very tight and twisty. I'm used to driving the GR3 cars, not sure how the GR2 cars feel around here, but it always feels like especially coming in here, the crest of the hill there, it feels like the car's going to get loose. Never quite feels comfortable, and at least the right round. Whoa. That was a wheelie, I believe. We just pulled there. As Cartman goes down, sets a 141.9 with a slight penalty, possibly for the wheelie. I'm not sure. So yeah, that was quite an interesting lap. Senna, one of the drivers not driving the Audi today. It's very interesting how the championship's swung around this way. GTR or NSX was so popular in seasons past, but the yearly car swaps, Audi has been taking up most of the field. Everyone wanting to try out the new car. I believe it's as fast as the GTR, and the NSX. It's just got that DRS button that I personally don't like myself, but I did actually choose it the next season. We'll see how we go about that one. But yes, Senna is driving the Mercedes AMG, not a high downforce car, but a high straight line speed car from the old Le Mans days. So quite an interesting choice for Polyphony Digital to put in the same class as Group 2 cars, but it has different characteristics and with different tracks. This car does stand out a bit better. My predictions? I mean, I want to believe Cartman will do well. It's racing with him on Tuesdays and Sundays. It's always common seeing him at the top of that series as well. And with winning last week, but let's say G Rabbit or Lico have proven that they could cause an upset, and we've got Vox Bacchus coming in with a few upgrades as well. I'm gonna go out, and I'm going to give a long shot call here for Vox Bacchus. I feel like I'm going to go for him for the win. It's been a steady improvement for him in past seasons, getting consistent podiums and that sort of thing. And he's had a few wheel upgrades, and he's showing decent pace in this so far. And I just sort of like the GTR, so I'll be going with Vox Bacchus as my tip for today. So good luck. Hopefully that can help out. I do know he can be very long on tyres as well, so I believe that will be important here. Pit stop does feel a bit long, but yeah, I think, just thinking through the strengths, I'm going to go for Vox Bacchus today. You can mention what your prediction might be, Kim, if you wish, or anyone else as well. Just referring back to Senna, he is nearly level with Gadget in terms of them both doing 171 races reportedly, and joining back in season 1 of 2019. So very, how many years is that now? 4 years? 4 or 5 years now in the series. But yes, he's as strong as he ever was at the minute, and hopefully his Mercedes will be good around here, but it doesn't look so good so far. Quite a lot of high downforce corners where he will lose out, so I think this might be just a bad situation for his car at the minute, but we'll see how this all plays out. Of course, Mickey here, who's been helping me out with a lot of the information for the series. So Cam's going for, well, you'd like to say G Rabbit. I'll go check in on YouTube and read that whole comment, because I missed a bit of it. Okay, I think I'm going to have to nail you down to G Rabbit there, Kim. You have to pick one, and I've picked Bacchus, so Kim's going for G Rabbit, and I'm going for Bacchus for the win today. Obviously, the likes of Lico or Cartman, I believe, can get involved as well, and Lance as well, playing in VR, I believe. I'm just gonna check if he's using the VR, getting a bit of assistance from Cartman possibly as well. Over the chat. Yes, the sort of Scandinavian-ish country sort of team vote there for you, Ken. But yeah, I believe G-Rabbit can do well. He did well last week. He was very consistent. He never looked like he was stressing the car too much, and looked like he could definitely hang with Cartman. At the moment, in terms of lap time, it is going towards G-Rabbit, but it's very hard to tell. I'm not too familiar with the lap times around here, so I think we'll have to see in qualifying whether this time difference is reflected or not. But yeah, Cartman right on the limit of the track, going through the tunnel there. Um, so he's 4 tenths up. It's going again sometime back. It is I think we're starting qualifying soon. Haven't seen any messages pop up. Yes, Gadget's just said starting soon, ringing the bell there. But it will be an interesting one for strategy. I believe the pit stops are quite bad and the tyre wear is quite high. So the racing softs, this might be one of the few tracks I believe the racing mediums might actually be an option. Either on some sort of free stop where you're using racing softs free 5 times, or twice and then once in racing mediums. But we're qualifying, getting underway now. We'll see he's got the pace for one lap around Trial Mountain reverse. See, this is what I'm thinking about using the racing mediums, because it does feel quite long, this pit lane exit. You are cutting out a bit of the first sector. As the drivers will now start to work themselves out. And G-Rabbit, the last man out, I believe it was that case last week. He liked to let everyone get out first and have a bit more clean air. And I believe Gadget would have been out of the pits first. Imagine Cartman's overtaking him. So I think for first lap it will be Cartman will jump on board with, unless Gadget wants to try and make a move back again. As there's, as I believe the clean air around here will be desirable with the high downforce corners. So I don't think you want to be looking for slipstream. Just as we come on for Cartman to start his first lap, and just making reference to this corner, if you're following someone through here, he gets very loose over the crest of that hill. That is worrying me. The car is very nervous for Cartman over that fast corner just at the end of the lap. As he just makes his short shifts to help the car rotate, and then short shift out to make sure the torque delivery isn't too strong. Keep it nice and steady. Didn't want to drop down the second there. Not sure if it's the networking. Car jumping around just a wee bit. I do like this onboard camera. It lets you see parts of the interior, the amazing detail that goes into this game. So 177, Cartman just hit there at the end of that straight. So he seems to have quite a high downforce setup, because I feel the straight line speed could be near 190. a different setup. So just look from behind what Cartman's car looks like going over that crest. I seemed to control it a bit better that time. Didn't seem to be wheeling as much. 141 for Cartman. Fast. Possibly others might be able to go a wee bit faster. Gadget's just set to 152.8. Live with a 143.1, just 2 tenths behind Gadget. The two Team Motion Blur Orange drivers are always so close on pace. I think especially in this class as well. So it's good to see them close together. 143.9 for H-Boss, puts him in 7th place at the moment. Still with a couple of drivers to go. Do notice G-Rabbit has done 140.7, so 3 tenths ahead of Cartman at the minute. And Vano is in 8th place. Mickey might have got a penalty that lap. He didn't register a lap that time round. And I'm just gonna follow Vox Bacchus, see how he's getting on. Hopefully well. And then Nissan GTR. I'm not 100% sure how the class is getting on, but I do think the GTR is as fast as the Audi. It just doesn't require the DRS button, but we'll see how Vox gets on. Is catching the car ahead, which would be Mickey, and he possibly is getting a bit of dirty air just going through here, which won't help. And just to keep it together, it's going to be a 142 dead, puts him P5, just behind his teammate Luco. Actually, these would be 2 separate teams, actually. This is Draggoth Yellow, and I believe this is Draggoth... what was the other name? I guess this would just be the normal one? I'm not sure. So yes, sister teams between these 2 drivers. As Mickey goes sailing into the corner at the end of the straights there. Not sure. Does possibly look like a networking issue for Mickey. This isn't how Mickey is driving at this moment in time. But yes, this has to be some sort of networking issue. I'll try and avoid that from here forward, because that was a bit messy. So G-Rabbit and Cartman. Cartman's gone in and got a fresh set of tyres, so he's going for another lap just now. See if he can close the gap down to G-Rabbit. G-Rabbit's tyres did look the worse for wear, but I believe Racing Softs will burn up racing around here. We did have a little bit of flag with Mickey. just a few moments ago as well. I found reports of lag in Tier 2 from Kamari there, so thankfully nothing too bad from my end. It wasn't perfectly neat when we were watching the onboards, but yeah, just a slight netcode issue from Mickey on my end. Not sure I'm actually getting split times coming up. Oh, I am. I don't know why I thought that. So yeah, just after we see how Cartman gets on, and we'll just go check back with G-Rabbit, see what his car is like, how it's behaving, especially for that last corner. As you can see, Cartman does manage to pull a wheelie coming through to the last corner. I know something's making me think G-Rabbit's car might look a bit neater. He's really looking after his tyres, so that's part of his game plan as he gets car going now onto the hot lap. Don't want to go too easy. Do want some tyre temperature. Yes, Cartman's been pulling wheelies. I seen with the onboard from his first lap as well. That the front of the car is lifting up as he goes through that twisty section at the end of the lap. So maybe not enough downforce in the front, possibly, or maybe he needs to lift. I'm not sure. But he seems to be managing it. You know, he's doing it every lap, so he must be okay with it, to be honest. I know another track, kind of the Polyphony Digital original track, Yamagiwa, I believe it was. The reverse layout of that has the very fast downhill corner where your car does that as well. Basically, most cars do that, but you don't usually see it in competition around Trail Mountain. So, from what I can say of G-Rabbit so far, same as last week, it's not very exaggerated driving. It's just it's very methodical. It's he's not using all of the track like Cartman is. Well, he is a second or so down, so that might be part of it. Maybe just getting warmed up again. There's a few more G-Rabbit fans in here. So it looks like G-Rabbit is going to be in the fight for pole, unless Cartman, with what tyres he has left, can do anything about it. Every time you go over to the screen, he's right in the limit, using all of the track. You just see him free here and how close he gets to the wall as he turns in. Just flat and right on the limit. Just about gets the car free. And he's 10th up, so I'm going to follow him to the end of the lap. We'll keep the onboard or the out of car camera as well, because you've got to see the wheelies Cartman's been pulling through this last sector. Will we see another? Yep, there you go. But he lands it perfectly, and some bonus style points. He manages a 140.8, so he's closed the gap a bit to G-Rabbit. G-Rabbit possibly on the push as well, coming into the last sector. I'm not sure how fast he's doing. So we see H-Boss has moved up to 6th, with Gadgets has just moved up to 6th, so a few jostling for positions further down. G-Rabbit's car not pulling the wheelies coming through there, but he goes another 2 tenths quicker. It makes it quite difficult to see Cartman getting back at him here. As I say that, He's 2 tenths purple coming through there. Lenz just improves his time. Again, just a second off the leaders in PS2 VR. Amazing driving, to be honest, because I can say from experience, VR is very challenging. So sitting in P3 at the minute is quite impressive. Vox Bacchus in the GTR. Hopeful of it being a Super GT car, a bit more natural on the tyres, it might just last a lot longer in the race, but we'll see. But yes, I'll be hoping for the best for Vox Bacchus. He's just ahead of his teammate Lico in the other Super GT car, the NSX. Always a car I thought was very fast, but never felt like it was that stable in the race. It could always bite you. So I was always on the GTR sort of side of things. Cartman has set a time that seems to be, what was that, 7 thousandths shy of G-Rabbit. You can't really take your eyes off these two at this moment in time. There are other battles going on down the field, but this head-to-head between G-Rabbit and Cartman is starting to heat up. This will be the penultimate lap for G. It's a sighter lap at best. I think it'll be difficult for Cartman with his tyres. Lenz doesn't make an improvement there. Lico did manage to dust off that lap neatly and got ahead of Vox Bacchus. I have noticed, yes, that would be Dragos' sister team, Dragos White, with H-Boss and Vox Bacchus, that I thought could challenge GT UKR with Cartman and Lenz, but Cartman and Lenz P2 and 3, it looks like they'll just be extending that lead in the team championship. But today, in terms of the Drivers' Championship, G-Rabbit's just taken a hit back at Cartman here with quite a strong qualifying performance. It was close at the very, very end. Cartman just managing to get the car together. So maybe as the race goes on, Cartman might improve more and more and might come back at G-Rabbit. But this is shaping up for a very interesting battle. Cars, the pack can get stretched out a bit at Trial Mountain. So we see Flev has finished his lap. Ivano, can he improve? No. And G-Rabbit with a 140.6 just to finish off. Cartman's already finished. Does Lenz have another lap? He does. No improvement though, although great consistency. But yes, I am hearing reports these recent softs that's 7 to 9 laps. Yeah, it sounds about right from what I was watching. Evening, a few of the drivers just tuning in after they finished their qualifying. Cartman, how's it going? That was close. You seem like you were chasing G-Rabbit for a bit there, but you seemed to catch him a bit in the end, so it seems like you might be learning the track a bit more as you go. But that was closer than last week, which was quite incredible. It was 2.25 10 thousandths between 3 drivers. But now, what is it? 7 thousandths of a second between pole and P2. It's basically the same time. There's nothing between yous. So yeah, this is going to be a very close battle. An equal machinery, give or take. Maybe the tune's a wee bit different, but yeah, we have Lenz as well. Brilliant qualifying performance. Gave him driver of the day last week. He might be getting it again this week as well, especially if he does well in the race. But great qualifying performance by Lenz. It's Vox Bacchus just behind as well. But better senses without the VR, so he still might have a chance to get in with the Audis. I just feel like those Super GT cars kind of have a more natural tire and fuel pace, so Lico Volksbacchus might do well. That Audi does have a rocket start though, so I think they'll struggle to get off the line well. The likes of Hitchbosch and Gadget might jump them into the first corner. Short run to first corner, must only be like 300 meters or something. So yeah, not a lot that can be done, but it's a tight one and a wide one as well. So there'll be opportunity for dive bombs, but please dive bomb responsibly if you have to. And I think we have time just to give a quick rundown. But that's G Rabbit with a brilliant lap, pole position. Cartman 7/10,000ths or 7,000ths just behind, and Lens and P3. Fox Bacchus P4, Lico in P5, and Hitchboss completing the drive liveried cars in 6th, and then Gadgets in 7th, with Mickey in 8th. These two had a sort of nice battle last week that was enjoyable to watch, with a little bit of back and forth. They were trading times. Valeev in P9, Ivano P10, Miller in P11. Very similar laps. Ivano and Miller had very similar pace last week. Also neck and neck for that. I believe it was 9th and 10th last week, but we'll see how that goes. Ayrton Senna is not enjoying the AMG, but yeah, I believe other configurations, the AMG will be quite a lot stronger than the other more high downforce cars, somewhere like Le Mans or Tokyo South Expressway or East Expressway. This will be a very strong car. Myself, I'm not racing, so there you go. It does look fun though. I'm glad I'm not doing this track though. I think I said once before that I like trial mounting the correct way around. I believe it's wrong to have it this way around, but yes. Thankfully, well, I believe the drivers seem like they enjoy it a bit more than I do, to be honest. So we've got 60 minutes, doing about 140. I think the lap time calculations are around 34 to 35 laps, and if all goes well and you don't get damage, of course we have heavy damage in this championship, just a reminder, so if someone does hit the wall and it does manage to damage their car, so them down quite a bit, they will have to pit, and that can be a race ender. Very clean last week, only a couple of drivers near the back who had picked up some damage. Nothing too race ending. Hopefully we can keep it that way this race as well. I think if as long as we get through the turn one, we're usually okay in that regard. And everyone is always striven with a lot of respect in this series. So yeah, hopefully no incidents early on. Yeah, that was what was great about the close race last week. It was clean from the fast drivers as well. G Rabbit and Cartman were able to sort of swap places with Lico as well at the top, and drivers throughout the field having battles as well. So 2 minutes until lights go out, I suppose. Tier 2 started already on lap 2. Tier 2. They look like the faster tier. Maybe we should have it the other way around. They're already in lap 2. But yeah, just giving everyone their 5-minute break to get their breath back. before we get into the race. Gran Turismo, speaking from experience as well, it's going to be opening stint's going to be like qualifying. You know, the tyre wear is not going to be too much of an issue at the front between G and Cartman. They're probably going to be just trying to set the laps they were, just to try and see who can get out in front. It'll be interesting to see. I believe the dirty air is quite a limiting factor for Group 2 and this track, so I think we'll lost my train of thought there. Thanks for the comments there. I was just glad to see you. Appreciate the commentary. Although as I get distracted with that and begin to stop commentating. but it's okay. The race should be starting any moment now. I'm right there with you, Gadget. This isn't the most natural layout. Okay, good luck everyone. It's showtime, as to say. Let's see, the fast Audis. Get off the line. See who gets into turn 1 first. I think these cars are pretty simple to start, but let's see. And the red lights go out. We're away. G-Robot's off to a good start. The GTR and the NSX, the Super GT cars, have been eaten up a bit. Cartman's on the inside, so he's got the high ground coming in turn 1, but G-Rabbit holds it around the outside. That was a good, clean maneuver there. As just check what's happened at the back of the field. Seems like there was a wee bit of side-by-side action there. But G-Rabbit leads out of the first corner. It was close though. Cartman looked like he was able to get alongside him in the turn 1, but G-Rabbit held it around the outside and leads coming down the back straights for the first time. It's 1.3 kilometers straight. It's not a good overtaking spot going into the next corner though. So although this is a slipstream opportunity, the fall-on braking zone doesn't make overtaking that easy. It's just Vox Bacchus is down in the 5th place. His team partner H-Boss did jump him from the start. Luco was affected by that race start a bit worse. He's now down in 8th place. As we see Vano getting close there to Senna coming through the tunnel. And Mickey and Muller is at the back, so something has happened to Mickey. But yes, 1 second's the gap, coming down to the end of the first lap. Let's see if I believe there might be a sort of 2.5 second comfort zone where you're not affected too much by the dirty air. Also have Lenz, Cartman's teammate. Oh, that's a big move. We've had a bit of an issue between Gadget and Bacchus there. From what I could tell, it seemed like Gadget was going for a move, and I'm not sure if it was an accidental dive bomb there, but yes, that might be something we have to look at later. as further back Miller's picked up some damage. Might have a look at that after. So Vano and Fox Bacchus all together here. Freewide's going down to the tunnel, or the end of the tunnel. Vano's managed to double overtake on Vox Bacchus there, although Vox Bacchus has gotten it back. Both drivers getting past Gadgets. Thankfully no damage, which is what I want to check for before we had the wee battle there. But now Gadget and Vox will be looking to make up lost ground. They both paid a dear price for that incident. G-Rab has extended the gap to now 2.5 seconds, so we'll see if this gap holds. Of course, Lens is managing to hold on to Cartman quite comfortably in the PS2 VR 1.5, so he doesn't seem like he's being affected by dirty air quite as much. G-Rab, it's looking like he's quite strong, extending ahead of Cartman. Just see if there's any other factors that might come into play, but on the initial PSG Rabbit's extending by about a second a lap, so we'll see if he can keep that up. Len's doing very well. H-Boss quietly doing well. Do you have a Lico who's been coming back from a not great start, going for a move on Ivan, or I believe whatever works. Doesn't quite make it work. It looked like he should have been able to get alongside, but just doesn't have the straight line speed in the Honda NSX to get ahead of the Audi. That DRS looks like it's doing just enough in the key overtaking spots. The Gadget has got himself to the front of this train of drivers. Senna's just going around the outside of Mickey. This looks like the most interesting spot. This battle for 8th place overall, currently held by Gadgets. It's a few drivers jockeying for position. As Mickey goes for a move back on Senna into the first corner, Senna holds him off. But Mickey cuts back again. Might have the inside going into the next corner, but that acceleration helps Senna protect his position. Mickey using the downforce, trying to get alongside again though. Just having a look at the map. So you have a battle just starting. Lico and believe that is again. So I'll just jump on board here so we'll see what Lico's dealing with at the minute. Doesn't look like he's short shifting too much, but he's right in the slipstream there, but it doesn't seem like he's gaining that much, which is unfortunate. Fox Bacchus and Gadgets and Vano have broken away from this heated battle now for 10th place. As Mickey and Senna, they probably swapped positions while we weren't looking, but we're looking and they're still swapping positions, so it's good to see clean, fast racing all the way through the field today. See if Miller can manage to battle Senna here. He's got some damage and he's put himself in a position, but I don't think he's going to take the position just there. Looked like a bit of a not so nice touch there, just on the side. Okay, back for our leader. G-Rabbit's another second gains from when we last checked him, maybe about 2 laps ago. About half a second lap he's gained there in Cartman. But we'll see how the race pace works. The lap times seem to be more equalising. The last lap was basically the same. for the two drivers. But G-Rabbit's looking quite strong. P2 last week to Cartman. He's now leading Cartman today, and it's not not as close as it was last week either. The go, of course, this week having quite a bad start with that Honda NSX has fallen away a lot earlier than he did last week. Different fortune, things might have gone differently. He has gotten ahead of Flav, so yeah, now he'll be hoping to catch up to H-Boss. Of course, not his teammate in another sister team, so unlikely they'll make any favourable choices, but we'll see. H-Boss is pulling wheelies as well, coming back onto the home straights. And Gadget see if he can hunt down Mickey, or actually Mickey's behind him. It's Galactus that he'll be chasing down. Thanos in 10th, Miller and Senna. Battle between them continues for 11th place. Nice move from Senna on the outside. The cutback from Miller. Senna will have the acceleration. Doesn't want to make the move going into turn 4. And yeah, G-Rabbit continues to extend his advantage. This is looking like a very difficult challenge for Cartman today. We'll see if he can do anything about it, but at the minute G-Rabbit is just pulling away. 5 seconds, 6 laps in. This is a strong lead at this stage for G-Rabbit, and as we notice with the sort of jump corner at the end of the lap, his car looks a bit more secure as well. Cartman wasn't just pulling wheelie there, so maybe lifting just to save it a bit more. Lenz is holding on even better than he did last week. Amazing driving. I'm sure it must be quite exhilarating as well. Driving this fast in VR. Just keeping tabs with the leaders, keeping them in sight, just in case anything happens. He'll be there to pick up the pieces. Lico's reeled in H-Boss here for 4th position. Looks like he wants it. It's the way he's closing on H-Boss at the minute. I'd imagine pit stops would still be a few minutes away, but these tires for some of the drivers, like Ivano, for example, isn't looking too great. Some drivers might need to be forced into pitting. This will change up the battle at the tail end of the field. The difference in tire wear at the minute. All drivers, Miller and Ivano, both carrying front damage. And Ivano's probably dealing with quite a bit of understeer with that tyre wear. I do like Miller's livery this season. He's each season to the next, his car changes dramatically. It's going with sort of bright green and black design this season. Let's see if he's able to get Ivano into turn 1. He's ahead. Vano doesn't elect to go for the move with his front left just going full red. I can understand why. And Senna's in a similar situation to Vano, so yeah, possibly more position changes on this lap for drivers at the back. G-Rabbit's lead 4 seconds. He's got a bit of a disadvantage to Cartman in that the tyres aren't holding as much grip, but he's still setting the same pace at this stage of the stint. But Cartman definitely the faster of the two cars on track at this moment in time. Starting to gain on the Finnish driver. G-Rabbit actually going into the pits. So it looks like we've got a bit of a chance here for Cartman. Although G-Rabbit was exceptionally fast in these opening laps, just pulling away, he's burnt through his front left tyre quite a bit faster than the other leading drivers. Cartman and Lenz going for at least another lap, as is Luco. A few other drivers including Vox Bacchus, Vlev, H-Boss also being forced to pit. Gadget also in on lap 8. So lap 8 for the soft tyres for quite a number of drivers. Miller, Ivano and Senna all in as well. I think Miller could have gone maybe a lap or two more, but he's elected the pit. So we have Cartman leading us at the minute for the first time this race. Almost had him leading going into turn 1, but with G-Rabbit pitting, Cartman now inherits the lead. Our graphic there actually says he's pitted every single lap. I know that isn't true. 1:42 is pretty much the average for Cartman. I imagine G-Rabbit's maybe a 41, but he has pitted, so we'll see if Cartman pits. I imagine if G-Rabbit getting a bit of an undercut, the gap will increase. What's Cartman going to do? It goes in. I'm not sure, was that possibly a pit lane cut? Possibly? Is that dotted white line the pit lane limit? I'm not sure. Well, G-Rabbit will inherit first position. Also got Luco into pits. Mickey has yet to pit. That's why he's ahead of H-Boss. He will now peel into the pit lane. H-Boss will try to get that slipstream. Lenz now leaving the pits. Although unlike no pit lane penalty for Lenz, no pit lane penalty for Cartman either. So it does appear those dotted lines aren't the definitive track exit, pit lane exit lines. Both drivers are fine. So of course Cartman went for 9 laps, G-Rabbit 8 laps, I believe that was. So it's a differing tyre strategy in the early stages. Of course, when the car gets lighter as the race goes on, the tyres will last longer naturally. So drivers will have to take that into account. And there is always the option of the medium tyre as well. So G-Rabbit definitely has the pace. Doesn't have the leverage in terms of tyre wear, but he does have options. So it's still looking like a G-Rabbit race today. He's looking very composed, very clean. I know it's early days, and when the drivers are this committed, as we see G-Rabbit driving through the last chicane there, anything can go wrong at any moment. But yeah, he has done the best so far. You see Luco and Vox Bacchus along with Rave and H-Boss make a red battle for 4th position. These drivers all probably practice together, all have a very similar pace, and on the race on Thursday they're all quite close to each other. Although, of course, there was the incident between Bacchus and Gadget earlier in the race that we did catch. Gadget still hasn't recovered from that. Has managed to pick up a half-second penalty. Just for a small corner cut that would have been. Evening, Cowboy. Thanks for tuning in. Loads of G-Rabbit fans joining us tonight. Seems to have just as much support as Cartman, another one of the Discord favourites. And he's proven the pace last week is more effective this week. He's gone from being just close to Cartman to being quite a bit quicker. As I say, in terms of the tyre strategy, it is advantage to Cartman there, but we'll see if G-Rabbit can make any chess moves to make up for that. Just driving quickly is also a good strategy. So he's using all the track there, getting on the throttle very early. Knows the limit of the car and the track, and I will say, even though his tyres did seem to wear out, he kept his pace right up until the tyres went off, and even for a bit longer. So he is fast on the worn tyres. So yeah, this is shaping up for an exciting battle, possibly in the latter stages. See if this battle continues before the pit stops. I believe they can manage to get past Acelith, but I'll have to do it again. May have taken on some fuel that could possibly. They like the reflections in this game. There's someone in the pits just now. I think that's Ivano. It's getting some fuel as well. There's quite close to Bacchus here. So I think Bacchus has gone for the race in mediums. Not sure, has he pitted twice? I think Bacchus might have pitted twice. Might have had an incident on lap 8. Not too sure. Interesting to know what's happened with Bacchus. But Miller is in 10th. Bacchus seeing what he can do. I believe Bacchus had an incident, has had to pit and get the medium tyres. So yeah, my favourite for this one, I thought might do well, has had just a bit of a hard luck disaster today. I mean, did get P4 in qualifying, very close to lens, was definitely in the fight there, but the Audis have a great start, and just with Bacchus trying to get through the fields, has come across some incidents that's held him back, currently in P9. Cartman will be hoping his tyres start bringing him time versus G-Rabbit sooner rather than later. Gap when they left the pits was about 4.5 seconds, now about 5.5 seconds. But visually there is a difference there. But at the end of the day, G-Rabbit is the car in front on track, and if they have to pit just similar amounts, it won't be enough, but we will see if there's another twist in the battle for the lead. H-Boss and Flav still just leading Luco, though Luco's just gone for a move there down the inside. Flav doesn't fight it too much. Just lets Luco ahead. He will have a chance to go up for an inside move here. He goes for it. And he isn't letting Luco away with it just yet. The cutback though helps Luco get ahead again. Oh, very well done there by Luco, keeping his car control. Seems to have won him the position there. Of course, it was hard for him to get past Flav on the straight, so we'll see now. I believe Flav might have a better chance of getting back on him as we get to the end of the tunnel. He's right on his rear wing. Luco goes defensive, pushes him, forces him to go to the outside. Just lost the key moment there, but yeah, Luco managed to get ahead. I think he'll possibly be able to pull away and get closer to H-Boss now. H-Boss is getting closer to them. These two have been battling, and H-Boss has been losing time to him while that's been happening. Looking now, looking to get P4 off of one of his sister team drivers. Will that be out around the outside in the turn 1? It's a comfortable overtake. Luco is up to P4. Good driving, good racecraft to get past 2 drivers in the lap. 2 IDs as well. So yeah, we'll see if he can trouble Lens as this race reaches the next stages. Still 5.5 seconds the gap between Cartman and G-Rabbit. G-Rabbit's lead's comfortable, just managing it at this stage. Can afford to look after his tyres a bit more and just sort of maintain the gap. Seems to be making the last a bit better this stint. Of course, I did mention the fuel would be lighter, so that should be the way things pan out. Yeah, H-Boss just stays behind Luco. Did seem a bit vulnerable on the straights. Gadget's quietly been setting good times, mid 142s. A few incidents early on can be difficult in VR. Of course, that one with Vox Bacchus that we didn't really see properly. But yeah, since has been quietly working away. Currently is ahead of Vox Bacchus and Mickey as well. So. Though Vox Bacchus did charge up there after the incident, seems to have had something off camera, forcing him to pit. Just having to go a bit easy on the exit with the medium tyres. Miller, P10. Seven's actually managed to pick up some rear damage. Haven't really seen that yet. Of course, the engine's mid-rear, so that might even affect his power. I'm not sure where he picked up rear damage, but leads Ivano at least. These two are stuck in sort of time freeze at the moment. Just the gap for always being maintained between the pair of them. G-Rabbit doing a very good job. Fastest lap, pole position, and race lead. Couldn't ask for any more at this stage. Just see Lenz has similar tune to Cartman, with the front of the car getting off the ground, just going through the last chicane. In my mind, the front two will have to use mediums. I just believe G-Rabbit, to make it the sort of pit stop efficiency makes sense. It will require one stint on mediums, and I would believe anyway. Because 9 laps on soft tyres, you're looking at a 4-stop, and you probably want to make this a 3-stop if you could. You can do around 13 laps maybe on medium tyres, so possibly trying to push the softs, but not too hard, make them last. We've had a look in. It's not as good as Cartman. This is him just pitting again. It'll be a 9-lap stint. I believe Cartman could go for another 2 laps here. So that is the one caveat with G-Rabbit's pace. He's half a second quicker probably than Cartman each lap, but the tyres are lasting longer. So G-Rabbit's having to pit more often. So last pit stop, it was just 1 lap Cartman went extra. I'm not sure if there is much point doing 2. It's a tricky pit stop situation. If they're both 4-stopping, it doesn't make much of a difference, to be honest. But if both drivers are thinking of going on mediums at the end to try and sort of make up for pitting quite so frequently with these soft tyres, then we'll see. Although I believe the pit loss here was around 27 seconds, but it seems like it's less possibly than 20 seconds, which wouldn't be that high. So just having the greater tyre wear might not be that much of a disadvantage for G-Rabbit. But it is the only chink in his armour at the minute. Apart from that, it's been a faultless drive. He's much the fastest driver on track. And there are many other drivers who are struggling on tyres worse than he is. It's just first is Cartman, who's been getting used to his new wheel and getting used to having tyre wear. Does have a slight advantage here. This is a situation I was mostly in racing Cartman myself, was that I would make the tyres last longer, but that's when he was on the controller. He's gone to Logitech G29 and now he's moved on to a Fanatec in only maybe a month or so. So now he's actually got a better tyre wear because he's on the wheel. But G-Rabbit's going to undercut him. This is 2 laps over Cartman's doing. So he's staying out. So he's gained 3 laps total against what G-Rabbit's done. But of course this undercut, when Cartman pits, he'll be about 7 seconds behind G-Rabbit. So that gap's, it's growing. I myself would like to be in Cartman's position more, where you're have the tyre wear as the advantage, but it can't be denied as well. G-Rabbit has got the fastest lap and pole position, so if he were to get the victory as well, that would take him to the lead of the championship. Of course, last week Luco got fastest lap and pole position, so that's why it would be that way. So yeah, this is definitely a fight. Cartman, of course, not a champion yet. Pretty much deserved to be champion whenever I won my season last year. Just last race he wasn't able to do. If he did do it, he probably would have clinched the title. But yeah. He looks like he'll be having a good competition with G-Rabbit for it this season. It won't be plain sailing here either. So with Carbon doing the next 2 laps, he'll come out behind G-Rabbit, but he must be hoping he can take one less pit, you know. That must be the way he's thinking. So it's whether G-Rabbit can make up that 20 seconds or so just by being that quick each and every lap, because he is putting in basically low 141s most laps, versus Cartman, who's he's maybe about half a second down on that. But yeah, it's 6 seconds the gap now between G-Rabbit and Cartman. Len's still in P3. Luco was catching him after a series of pit stops, so he's not catching him just quickly anymore. Thankfully ahead of Vleev, who he's had a number of battles with this race already. H-Boss is in P6, Gadget in P7, Bacchus is in P8, and Mickey is in P9. Bacchus probably looking to stay on track for a long time with those medium tyres. So we've reached after the halfway points. The field spread is quite large, as it tends to be at a track like this. Very technical track, so the speed advantages can be quite obvious. It looks like G-Rabbit's probably going to get this gap towards 8 seconds before his tyres start going off. He's still got a lot of grip to go, so yeah. Just see the rear wing activating. Rear wing activating maybe on Cartman's just a touch later. So not a lot of battles, just a lot of splits to keep our eyes on. Possibly an air balloon or a helicopter or two floating around. But yes, not much wheel-to-wheel action at this stage of the race. See, Bacchus has come into pits. Appears he's had a bit of contact with the wall. His GTR is just not great enough from around this track. It's not the best return for himself. Just have a Vano moving quite slowly. I did notice that on the map, but I'm not sure. It doesn't have any damage. Maybe it's just giving way for faster drivers, I believe so. That would be the cars around P4, 5 and 6, I believe. 7.5 seconds now. G-Rabbit's advantage. As Cartman will have to lap Senna in the first or second sector of this lap. So the front 2 drivers now 30 seconds ahead of Lens, and I believe that's reflective of pace as well. So just steadily, they've been about a second and a half quicker than Lens each lap on average. 21 laps into the race, and that becomes 30 seconds quite quickly. He's not that much slower on one lap, but it's just the averages. Stayed with them at the start, but now he's in a battle with Luco. Of course, him being in VR, won't be too aware of the split times. Possibly getting some information from Cartman to where other drivers might be behind him. But he's keeping Luco at bay for now on the NSX. It's just sparks kicking up there as he hit the dip in the hill. Thankfully, Lico will probably be relieved he's got a 3-second gap back to Blue. He's got good straight line speed. H-Boss looks like he wants that P5. Design it up. Let's see if he can do anything about that one. Gadget's just chipping away. Possibly might be able to get into that battle as well. So there's battles that could start towards the end of the race. The field spread's quite large now, but as strategies converge, we might see some battles coming together. And then his trusty AMG. The car does sound great. Unlike anything else in the class. But yeah, he's in a sort of no man's land for 11th place. Might think just about keeping it clean and stopping Ivano getting any ideas if he has a big incident. So G-Rabbit is, I believe in this game after recent updates you're talking like bottom 15% and then you start feeling that real loss of grip. G-Rabbit hasn't quite got there yet, but it's getting close. Just with us running out of time, it's hard to see Cartman finding a whole extra pit stop with all of these tyres he's saving. It's hard to tell exactly where G-Rabbit will be vulnerable. Maybe he might have to go on mediums when Cartman can go on softs. I'm not sure what tyres they'll have to go on at the end. But he started to claw into that gap. It did rise to about 7.5 seconds, but he started to gain back some time on G-Rabbit just with his tyre advantage. Very interesting battle that I'm getting to watch this evening. And Cartman is doing very well to keep his tyres alive. Of course, normally in past seasons when he was in the controller, he was using the tyres up just as much as the others on the wheel. So he's always had good tyre saving, even just to stay level there. But now he's on the wheel, he's able to make them last longer than I've seen most before, at least in this Audi. It's now brought the gap down to just 6 seconds to G-Rabbit, who's now just got some traffic ahead of him. We'll have to navigate in the early stages of the next lap. Cartman not pulling the wheelies every lap during the race. I think that was just for qualifying from Cartman. It's always great to see how close all the drivers get to that wall on the exit of the tunnel. The battle for P9 may have to pause for a minute. This G-Rabbit's just closing in. Drivers ahead getting blue flags indicating the leader is fastly approaching. G-Rabbit indicating he wants to go for the inside, gets ahead of Fox Bacchus. Now I go on to see about overtaking Miller. I think this will be the next sector. Miller will probably pull out of the way, let G-Rabbit past. Now down to 3 seconds. Of course, with the tyre wear going off for G, this is getting to a critical stage where they're thinking about their final pit stops. And yes, the battle for 9th to 10th has been, usually from 8th to like 12th, has been really close this race. Now the battle just at the front just starting to heat up. Of course, I think these drivers ahead of Cartman will be staying out for a short while, so he will now have to get past these 2 back markers. So he'll probably lose a bit of time because of that. But it has closed down a good 4 or 5 seconds on G-Rabbit. Will G-Rabbit pit? I believe if he pits now, he can make it to the end, but we will see. He does decide to go in. Okay. So interesting choice. 15 minutes to go. Not sure how many laps is that. That must be. Oh, it's Fox Bacchus. We see the lights to rear tires up there. Oh, and Cartman gets a wee bit held up there as well from Miller. So that won't help his efforts for the battle for the lead. But yeah, kept his cool. Didn't let it affect him too badly. Didn't lose too much time. Lens. No, yeah, I do think this might work out quite well, because although Cartman was doing quite well saving his tyres, it doesn't make too much sense. I believe G can go to the end. He had a time advantage. Cartman, of course, will be undercut this lap by G. G will get a bit of time back at him. Of course, he had that wee incident with Miller, so I think this will be difficult for Cartman. So yeah, I think G is the favourite. He's already pitted. He just has to drive to the finish now. I'm not sure Cartman has the answers, but we will see. He'll come into the pits. He'll pick up some fuel, and we'll see where he comes out. But yeah, it is looking good for G at the minute. It would be a change of lead in the championship if he could pull this off. And it's just about driving to a finish. No more pit stops for G. Cartman now comes into the pits. Still plenty of tyre left as well, so I feel like he's definitely had a good strength with tyre wear, but he hasn't really won himself a free pit stop or anything like that. So yeah, I guess it's hard to see when Cartman will come out, because he just sort of appears while we're halfway through the last corner. But now's the moment of truth. Cartman comes out, and G-Rabbit's just ahead of Cartman. Two seconds advantage. It's hard to see Cartman taking it back unless he's able to go as fast as he has been going on fresh tyres, because if it's gone like the past few stints, G-Rabbit should pull out another couple of seconds before Cartman's able to gain on him at all. But yeah, brilliant driving by G-Rabbit today. Master of the ID so far. these two drivers, both in between Vaux, Backus and Miller, quite interestingly, through the pit stop window. It feels like the leaders have, it's been impossible to separate them from Miller and Vaux, Backus, and they're going to have to get past Miller once again. Just going to try and find... there's a bit more of a genuine battle happening. Yes, here, RGT and Gadgets are having a battle for 6th place. So I believe, see on the top left, that's Miller must have given way to Cartman and G-Rabbit. So this is a good pit strategy, has helped Gadget get ahead of HBoss. He did notice him getting quite close. He's just jumped HBoss in the pits. I don't think that was a change for position on track. I believe that was a bit of pit strategy magic that helped Gadget get ahead. Flav in P5. Nico is having a nice quiet P4 drive. He's 3.5 seconds behind Lens, so there's a race there. But closing stages, so keep a wee eye on this. It's now 1.5 seconds the gap between our leaders, Cartman and G-Rabbits. Cartman's gained about half a second, so we come down to the last 10 minutes. Should be the last 5 laps, 6 laps or so. 6 laps, I'm guessing. I think these two up here will be doing 35 laps at least. It would be really interesting to see this come to a battle at the end between these two. Last race we were spoiled. There was battles throughout the whole pack, all race long. Trial Mountain, very technical track, very difficult to follow someone closely with dirty air kicking back. So I feel like that's made it not quite so many overtaking opportunities. But yes, plenty for us to get excited by. These two were inseparable in qualifying, and as we come to the end of the race, with Cartman having the slight tyre advantage, with G-Rabbit having the pace advantage, yeah, it's hard to see. It's just with him gaining that wee bit of time there. Cartman seems like he's having to work so hard to just get close, and then G-Rabbit just gets a corner or two right, and then all that hard work is undone, and Cartman has to come at him and try and do it all over again. Just coming with like maybe 5 laps remaining, I just don't believe he's able to do enough. I don't believe G-Rabbit was using traction control to start, but maybe just like trying to help him with the tyre wear possibly, although I'm pretty sure he'll be fine till the end. It's only been on these tyres for 4 laps. I think he can definitely do 9 laps. I do want Cartman to make a fight out of it in the last lap. I don't know. I do hope he finds something to just sort of make this a bit more of a question as we come to the line. After an hour of racing, for 2 drivers to be so close that they're only separated by a couple of seconds is it's basically fast as each other in this situation. But G-Rabbit has the advantage. He's just set the fastest lap of 1 minute 40.5. Absolutely blistering pace. I think that's actually faster than his qualifying lap. Obviously lower fuel possibly than qualifying at this stage, but you usually still very around with that one. So we just have a quick look through the fields. HBoss has dropped off Gadgets. Might have had a wee moment in the dirty air possibly. Backus and Miller still battling. Senna is now going to have to give way to Lenz. I think is still comfortably ahead of Lico by 3 seconds or so, but I will double check that. Cartman now pulled back that half second again that he lost earlier in the lap. Just to keep G-Rabbit honest. Just remind him that he's there. Just waiting for something to change. Still just a corner behind, essentially. Second has been lost from Lenz to Lico, so this is getting close between these two drivers. And this does have a slight tyre advantage in the Audi. I'm quite impressed with all the drivers in the Audi. I think it's a very good car, so I'm glad I've chosen it when I'm coming back next season. I did prefer the Super GT cars just because they didn't have the DRS button, but yeah, it looks like the Audi is also the fastest at the minute. Running out of time for Cartman. Again, the gap's pretty much being maintained. So he's right on the limit there. Just a couple, 2-3 laps to go. He uses a wee bit of time. I think he might have just touched the wall there. I'm not 100% sure. Is G-Rabbit going to be able to hold off Cartman the Riser? One of the fastest Driversroom has seen. Two G-Rabbits being chased down by at the minute. Will he have enough? Looks like so far. And still just 2.5 seconds behind Lico. As we see, Ivan has disconnected. I'm not sure if he has had this connector if there was an incident. He seemed to be doing quite well. I think he was in 5th place. Look, he's slipped into 5th place now. Quietly has kept his nose clean, and from a start where he was slowed down by an incident with Volkswagen, he has worked his way up into 5th place. Volkswagen's had a few incidents he's had to come back from. Gap now 1.6 seconds between Cartman and G-Rabbit. Closest battle on track, so I think we'll be sticking with these two till the flag, depending on what happens. .4 seconds. It's different parts of the track. G-Rabbit seems more comfortable. That last series of corners, G-Rabbit seems better. In this last chicane, I think G-Rabbit's got a bit of an advantage because his car doesn't really. Whoa. Cartman definitely throwing caution to the wind. Full send. Coming into the last chicane. Both wheels firmly in the air. He's not leaving anything on the table as he tries to put G-Rabbit under pressure. The penultimate lap, I think this will be. Probably just about getting to a stage now where G-Rabbit might be being affected by tyre wear. Still has some tyre life. So it's not going to drop off a cliff, but just slightly makes his ride go slightly quicker. Of course, loads of dirty air being kicked back to Cartman's car, making it more difficult. This is quite an intense battle at the end of round 2. It's been an amazing duel between these two in the last round, so it's great to see the roles reversed. in this round. Thought for many stages that G-Rabbit would get the advantage last race, but now the roles have reversed. We'll see if G-Rabbit can hold Cartman off. This next lap will be the last lap, so if Cartman is going to do anything, it's going to need to be now. He's just within the second window for slipstream. Lifts slightly. So we have a last lap showdown for the championship lead, nonetheless, in round 2. Between G-Rabbit and Cartman. I know in these situations from racing Cartman that whenever it is a fight, he does not make a mistake, he does not put a foot wrong. When it's showtime, he gets it all right more often than not, so we'll see. 3 tenths on the back straight, 1.3 kilometers for Cartman to try and use the slipstream to make an overtake at the end of the tunnel. G-Rabbit go good defensive. He's going to get that to the inside for Cartman. Cartman's making the move. And he takes the position. Oh, it's so close. Cartman right to the wall. G-Rabbit as well. Has he clinched this on the last lap? Has he used the tyres to win this one? What so often his Achilles heel has helped him go from losing the championship lead to creating a very strong championship lead. We have Cartman Revisor winning the race, G-Rabbit coming home in P2. Of course, he picked up the fastest lap and pole position, so he will minimise the points lost to Cartman. But that's 2 wins from 2 for Cartman. Not even with the outright pace, just his, often before he was the fastest qualifier and that sort of thing, but now it's his tyre saving, that's his strength. And then we have Lens, about 44 seconds behind, leading PSVR2 driver to come home and pick up P3. Just going to let us know that Ivano has finished, as well as Miller, Bacchus, Mickey. I know you can't believe it. We can't believe it, Cartman. Lico has come home to take P4. He wasn't quite able to close down to Lens. Gadget, we've hardly talked about him all race. He seemed to disappear near the start, but he's come home to pick up P5. A strong finish. Second to Lens in the terms of the PSVR2 drivers. But yeah, brilliant drive from Gadget. Brilliant recovery drive from Gadget. Very patient. As we have HBoss finishing us off P6, and that's all she wrote for that one. But yes, incredible battle on the last lap between Cartman and G-Rabbit. A brilliant end to a brilliant race. And of course, with Lens coming P3, another good points haul for GT-UKR in the team's championship as well. With a little bit more representation from other teams there, they're not going to have quite as big a points jump as the first round. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be hard to beat Cartman this season. He was about to lose the championship lead up until halfway through the last lap, and now he's won 2 races out of 2. So yeah, it seems G-Rabbit just needs to do a wee bit more to get on top of Cartman, but that was very, very close. And Cartman, yeah, if you're watching it seems like the opposites. It used to be a situation where you always had the fastest laps and the pole positions, and the tyre wear wasn't the best strength, but you're not getting pole positions or fastest laps, but you're the car with the best race pace. Just the tire life is what gets you the wins in this series, and he's at the last moment of that race just proven it. I wasn't too sure because it seemed like G Rabbit would be able to have enough tires to get to the end. But his tires didn't even go off that much, just a wee bit, and Cartman didn't make a mistake. He capitalised on that. But yes, thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for your support. You've all been lovely. And yeah, I'm gonna go watch Tier 2 commentary now because yeah, that's very interesting. Hard to watch my own back, but yeah, at least I have something to watch. See what happened in Tier 2 this evening. But yes, I'll end the stream there. I'll let you enjoy your evenings and yeah, have a good night. I will catch you next fortnight. Good luck. Bye.